Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie, I'm a documentary filmmaker and photographer and I live in Birmingham in the UK. Last January in 2020 I released my first feature-length documentary film about marathon runner Hayley Carruthers. Thank you so much for watching that film and for all your lovely comments and support. It was a bit intimidating putting a video up on YouTube because you never quite know what to expect or how people are going to react. The internet and YouTube in particular can be very negative, full of armchair critics who like to tear you down or pull apart your creations or to take a runner down a peg or two. So thank you so much for your support, your encouragement and for showing me that the internet is actually a positive place and there can be some really lovely communities here too. So I'm a documentary filmmaker, but I haven't actually done much documentary filmmaking for the past year, and the reason for that is quite obvious. So in March 2020 I began work on another couple of documentary projects, but I quickly had to postpone all the filming work for them because of the pandemic. It's very disappointing and I'm itching to get back to work, but I just need to be patient. I know that eventually things will get better, the world will open up again and I'll be able to pick up the pieces where I left off. Today I want to talk to you about a new project, which is something that I can do here from home no matter what the pandemic throws at us, and that is a new series of videos all about documentary filmmaking. I'm completely self-taught. I started taking photographs and making videos when I was a full-time student. So it started with the Project 365. For those of you who don't know the Project 365, it's where you pledge to take a photograph every single day for a year. Initially, when I started, I was using my BlackBerry mobile phone and the camera was a bit rubbish. And I was also using an old point and shoot camera that I'd had for about 6 or 7 years. The equipment was very, very basic and the photographs weren't very good, but I absolutely fell in love with photography, and I know it sounds cheesy and people say this all the time, but truly it changed my life. It made me recognise the seasons and see the world passing by outside my window. So before I picked up a camera for the first time, I never noticed when spring arrived. I didn't notice the blossom buds forming on the trees or the last frost. I barely noticed the crocuses coming up. In autumn I didn't really notice the acer trees turning. Picking up photography and later videography just really made me tune into the world around me and slow down, and over the years it became something more to me. So when I finished university I decided not to carry on with what I'd studied and what I had been doing before that. It's a long story and one for another day, but I started filming weddings because I had been taking lots of video clips of everyday life, and it was sort of a natural progression for me to start filming friends' weddings and then start filming paid weddings for strangers, for people that I didn't know. And I did that for a few years and it was really, really fun. I learned a lot. You have to learn a lot when you're a wedding videographer because there's so much planning that goes into a day, and you only have one chance for a take, and if you miss the shot, if you're not there when the bride walks down the aisle, then you've missed it. If you miss one of the speeches, you can't say, oh excuse me, please can you just go back to the beginning and start again. If your audio craps out on you, well, tough luck, you haven't got the audio. So it makes you really think about the worst case scenario and plan every single shot and every single eventuality. So it definitely made me a better filmmaker, and that's something that I feel like I can teach. There's so many tips and tricks I've picked up over the years, and I take it for granted now that I know how to turn on a camera and set it up and do a multi-camera sequence and do on and off camera sound. But when I was just starting out, I didn't know where to begin, and I just saw these really polished videos and I thought, how do I get from here with my point and shoot camera to there of these finished productions? This new video series will cover absolutely everything that you need, even if you are a complete beginner. So I will take you from first steps of setting up your camera for the first time. Perhaps you already use a DSLR or mirrorless camera, but if you've only been using it for photography, the video mode might intimidate you a little bit. I will teach you colour grading and how to edit audio and which pieces of software you can use. Most of the software I use is either free or low cost. It has a professional version but also a very fully functional amateur beginner version, which I know is also a concern for beginners because software can be really, really expensive and really prohibitive actually. I edit with Lightworks and DaVinci Resolve, and these are the programs that I will teach you. I've started with Lightworks and they have a very good free version for beginners which allows you to export for YouTube and for home videos so that you could put them up on Instagram or you could share them with your family and friends. I'm really excited about this project and I can't wait to get started teaching you everything that I know. Please remember to subscribe here on YouTube, and you can also follow along over on Instagram. That's it for today. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Hi and welcome back to my channel.